Hi guys, welcome to OWL 003. Today I'm going to be talking about a session I did on the death of Pat Price, how he died, and what might have happened to his body during the period where it was missing. I did 5 or 6 sessions on this. I'm going to go through the last one with you because it'll take forever otherwise. I did a couple retaskings. So, I have not seen anybody else's session on this. And I want to say that with remote viewing, unless you have other ways to back this up, I cannot definitively say, this is what happened to Pat or whatever. This is what happened when I was asked this question, tasked this target blindly, using remote viewing, plugging me and CRV into it when I asked this question. And this happened back in 1975. And in addition to this session, at the very end, I was tasked to come up with some names. And even though this was decades ago, there is a list of names of people associated with his death that is shared with people that I trust, just in case this is accurate. That's my little insurance policy. So there's a list of names and names that I knew would come up, and then other ones that I didn't. I was kind of surprised. So that was kind of part of the tasking too, but I'm not going to get into that too much other than to say that just in case, there's a list of names that was additional to this target. So that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get into the session. So this is a picture of Pat. This is the hotel that he was staying at the time. So they ruled it as a heart attack. There was no autopsy done. He did have heart conditions, but there's all kinds of rumors surrounding his death from the KGB, CIA, whatever. So there's a point in this session where I got a very high level data point. I'll get into that. So anyway, let's get into the session. So kind of early on, I'm getting an older guy. And I'm getting a sense he's there. He's basically being served like a restaurant. This is a sketch I did of Pat. So my indication was that Pat had ingested something. Something that was poisonous. And so I'll go on. But that's my assessment of as far as what got him sick initially. Oh, do this. Okay, so beyond that, getting the matrix. I think I'm getting the sense of a decrepit old man. This idea of trust and the sense of a conversation. I'm sensing someone is sick here. Terminal illness. I get a sense of a building, a person, a male figure. Okay, a sense of collapsed. Okay, this is the structure that I got, which is, if you look at the Stardust, is not too dissimilar to it. You got these pillars up front. Ooh, that's pixely. Whatever. Service entrance. Okay, this idea of allocated large structure. Sorry, my handwriting was horrible. I'm trying to get better at my handwriting in session, because I kind of just, when I be in signal, that my handwriting gets worse and worse. So I get a sense of cells or compartments, arched doorways, glass. Sense of two males. Okay. Now, prior to Pat's death, just prior, I think it was the night before, he had bumped into someone that he was familiar to him. They had a brief conversation, and on they both went their separate ways. I believe that this is that conversation, and I believe that this male may have some direct correlation with his death. So I'm going to go on with that. So exchange, people, person, colloquial ideals, enforcement, scaling back. So do you have an exchange, conversations, money market. So my sense through all my sessions with Patty, he was kind of a talker. You know, he kind of talked a lot, and he may have said something to the wrong person. I don't know. Hate, jealousy, this idea of enforcement. Hold, stop. Collecting, person, wealth, tactical, cunning, enforcement, stealing, threatening. Cellular blood, okay. So, this idea of brainwashing. Get this sense of a very patient man. Not an AOL. Okay, so I get the sense of red blood cells. This idea of retribution, release. I was getting the sense of an event. These guys shaking hands. You know, it's going back to that conversation. Okay, so at this point, I'm getting a, like, I know this guy's dead. Okay, I don't know it's Pat yet, and I don't know it's Pat until I get the feedback. But I do have Pat in my AOLs and stuff. Okay, Pat Price. So I get the sense of an abrupt change. Do you know what's coming? I'm asking the subconscious this. Do you know this death is coming? And when you do stage 4, when you're deep in the matrix and you're working with the subconscious, you get like an automatic ping back. And I'm using telepathy as a reference. I can call it whatever the hell you want, but it's like that. So you get it immediately. Like, I could barely write the question down and I get a response back. So no, this is a shock to him. Okay, so I'm getting this sense of distrust. Some of these names are coming in. Okay. So my sense was, and I've realized, and I've kind of, this seems to be, and again, I'm not a scientist. I'm not here to tell you how this all operates, guys. I could just tell you how it feels to me when I'm working the session. And here's what it feels like to me. When you deal with someone that is dead, okay, if you have a target that's a dead person, okay, and you start to ask questions about their death, they seem to have, kind of a limit of as far as to what they know in their life. For instance, Pat's death never got solved. He never got any resolution here in life. And my sense was, well, I don't know if I'm dealing with the subconscious now, then, I can't quantify time when you're dealing with something like this. But my sense was he didn't know who killed him. So at that point, I had to ask my own subconscious at this event, because you're kind of inquiring the subconscious mind of the person that you're dealing with. But when you're doing it that way, their answer, they have a limit to what they know. And in that sense, because what happened here is, okay, so let's get back to this. I'm getting a sense of orders to execute. And I asked his subconscious, do you know who or what organization might be affiliated with this? He did not know. When I asked him this, I got Pat Price, as you can see here in the data. Again, it's a blind target. I have no idea who. I was not told. I get a coordinate and that's it. So when I asked myself, my subconscious, who's objective to, he doesn't really care who did this. The information I got back was the CIA. Then I asked Pat, is it the CIA? And the response back I got from Pat was, could be, probably, likely. That's what I got. As far as my remote viewing, Pat's death, informationally, that's what I got. I did get some sense of, had some stuff going on with property in the family. I picked up on some of that. A family farm. Got a sense of money was involved. He was in a group and getting caught off guard. Okay. Okay, I got a sense one of the criminals involved is a heavyset male. A group effort. Here again, got this sketch of what looks not too dissimilar to Pat. Little old man. Oops. Okay. So. Sad, kind blue eyes. Pocked skin, facial bumps. Since he didn't know him, this feeling of disappointment. Like we gotta do what we gotta do. Oh gosh, I got it again. Any organization. CIA. Fraudulent behavior, record keeping. So I asked him, are you still alive? No, he's not still alive. Get the sense of a jealous nature of someone. Since he was kept alive and later died. I felt like he was held captive for some time and then was left to die. So I don't know if this is referring to his, because there's retasking that involved, what happened to his body. Get the sense the victim is telling me the culprit's day is coming. All of them. A sense of retribution. This is really, really interesting. I really love this about the session. The way the words come together here. I get the sense this man knows the party responsible now, since this session, and they will pay the price. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna sense of digging. Like I'm trying to figure out what solve this. I keep digging. Piece of paper. Keeps a log. So also, I just want to mention this. There was a retasking I did where it was specifically around what happened in the ambulance, and my sense was Pat had something on his person that that the culprits needed to remove. Was it residue poison from his mouth or something? My sense kind of was it had something to do with his. They were like in and around his mouth area during that time. So that's what I got. Target is a male subject. I feel that this male has been held in a captive state and is now passed on. First sketch on page 2, I get a sense of heavyset males. Feels to be one of the perpetrators of this event. Get the sense of a man holding up an object. Wrinkly, scar-faced male, feels weathered and older. Get the sense of a terminal illness by someone. The structure pertaining to the target feels busy as it pertains to the people inside. Something feels in the hotel. Something feels cyclical about the target or event at the target. The structure feels quite large. I get a sense of a confrontation between two males. I get a sense of an exchange. I get a sense of sadness and suffering from the victim. I get a sense of putrid smells. Strong sense of retribution for the victim here. Sense of a handshake, travel, and an abrupt change. I get a sense of distrust and a sense of complete shock by the victim here. I get the sense of a male with broad shoulders. The sense of orders to execute. I get the sense of a family man. The sense of inheritance and inheritors seems significant. The sense of money and greed are involved. The sense of victim trusts these people. Feel like he's in a group and gets caught off guard. The impression this is carefully planned and carried out. Get the impression this is not done alone. Get the impression a heavy-set male is involved. Sense of pock skin, facial scars. Sense he was known by the victim. A sense of desperation. The sense of form of paperwork being significant. Fraudulent behavior, records, and record keeping feels pertinent to the target. I get a sense of a jealous nature from one of the perpetrators. I felt this man was kept alive or was alive for some time after, but died or left to die. I get the impression the culprits of this crime will be caught and held accountable. I get the sense this man is now buried. I got the impression of a recluse. And he was a recluse. So that's what I got, guys. The death of Pat Price. So if you do this target, you get something different, or if you get the same thing, please let me know. I will say I have talked to a Stargate member about this target. And, anytime I talk to a remote viewer who has worked this target, who has some knowledge of this target, or has some interest in this target, it's very uncomfortable for them. And, again, I don't know, but the remote viewer from Stargate had basically had a sense it was a KGB type of thing. That's just not what I got. But again, this is one remote viewer doing a handful of sessions on this one target, and I invite you guys to throw it in your target pool or task it out, and you tell me. But I hope you enjoyed it. That's what I got, and we'll catch you next time.